This is a follower-submitted spicy Thanksgiving story that goes like this. Am I the astronaut for asking for a divorce on Thanksgiving in front of our families? Whoo, shit. Could you pass the cranberry sauce and a divorce? That's hardcore. Dusty, this happened to me a few years ago, but it is relevant to the holiday and very spicy, so I thought you might enjoy. I'm already enjoying it. I had suspected my ex-husband, let's call him John, of cheating on me for quite some time. He had cheated on me for some years earlier, but we'd agreed to work it out and stay together for the kids. Now he had reverted back to his old pattern behavior, working late, going out after work with his work buddies, taking calls at all hours of the day and night, acting distant and closed off with me, all the telltale signs. I had made it clear to him the first time that it happened, if it happens again, I'm leaving him. I also made it clear that I would not cover for him or attempt in any way to hide his infidelity or help him save face. We are open and honest with our entire family about everything else, and I refused to be secretive about this just to keep him from looking like the bad guy. So for several months, I had checked his phone looking for irrefutable evidence, and I finally found it. 2 days before Thanksgiving. I was angry, but I was not really surprised. I decided to wait until after the holiday to address it so that we could give the kids one more chance for us all to be together. Every year, we had hosted Thanksgiving lunch at our house for the entire family, his parents and mine, along with all of our siblings and their kids. In total, we had nearly 40 people in our home. This was a big undertaking for me, and I needed a lot of help from him, but not surprisingly, he was very distracted, and he was on his phone the whole evening before and the morning of Thanksgiving, not helping at all, ignoring all the things I asked him to do. Needless to say, I was fed up. So the whole family arrives and we sit down at the table together to eat, and he immediately excused himself to take a call. That was the last straw for me. The least he could do was pay attention to our family. When he returned, I took my spoon and tapped my glass like I was about to give a formal toast. But instead, I thanked everyone for being there and then said that it would regretfully be the last time we host Thanksgiving, as I was asking John for a divorce. I spoke about it casually as if everyone already knew. I asked them to excuse John's inattentive behavior, try not to blame him for his infidelity, and to give us both grace as we spend this final holiday together. Now, I know this was probably not the best way to break the news to our kids, but they were both older, high school, and this was not their first rodeo. As I mentioned, John had cheated before. They seemed to take it in stride. The rest of the family, however, specifically John's parents, took the news very badly. In their eyes, John could never do any wrong. My mother-in-law immediately started sobbing, like wailing. John's dad started screaming at me because I just ruined the holiday for John. Though I'm pretty sure John was still having his holiday. John was trying to get his mom to stop crying and got so frustrated with her that he stood up too, quickly knocking the whole dish of green bean casserole into the floor. Food went everywhere and the dish shattered. Coincidentally, that was the dish his mother brought, so naturally, she started crying even harder. This upset John's brother, who's always been a mama's boy, and he started yelling at me too, blaming me for the broken casserole. The screaming went on for about 15 minutes, during which time my parents, who were pretty laid back, somehow managed to gather what they had brought and sneak out of the house without being noticed. They did the Irish goodbye. They moonwalked. Yeah, did the Nick Panic moonwalk with their casserole. The rest of the family rode it out, but by the time it was all over, most of us were not even hungry anymore. The yelling match was followed by a long bout of awkward silence and stillness before my sister suggested we just pack everything up in portions so everyone could take their meals home. John ended up packing a bag and going to stay at his parents' house. I filed for divorce the following week. This will be my third Thanksgiving since, and while I regret the unexpected fiasco that my announcement caused, I will never regret exposing John's dishonesty to his family. In all reality, he probably ended up convincing them that I was the one actually cheating anyway. So am I the astronaut for asking for a divorce at Thanksgiving lunch? No. This is... You are not the asshole for your idiot brozo ex-husband cheating on you. And then acting like a further cheating brozo idiot ex on Thanksgiving, not helping because he's distracted by his side pieces. Yeah, you should have noticed at previous Thanksgivings when he never went for the main course, he just always went after the sides. Eh? Come on. No, it's not. I think he needed to be exposed, and you're probably right about his parents. If he could do no wrong. I mean, Dad immediately started yelling at you because you ruined the holiday for him. Wait, what? Yeah, you're right. I caused him to cheat. I forced him to, really. Forced him to cheat just so I could out him in front of everybody and ruin Thanksgiving. That was my intention. You're right. It's all my fault somehow. Cool. And then his brother, I mean, you can definitely see where the mentality comes from, because his brother did the same thing. The whole family was just like, oh, these kids can do no wrong. It must be your fault somehow. They can't make bad decisions. They certainly don't take accountability for everything. Anything. Ever. It's got to be your fault. The freaking casserole dish that he knocked down on the ground was your fault too. I mean, it's pretty freaking clear. There's zero accountability to be had for them growing up or even now. So whatever. I feel bad for your folks. And I feel bad for your family having to endure the awkwardness. But you know what? It's family. That's what happens. It's what happens. NTA. The kids knew it. They weren't surprised. Yet his folks are like, no. I will not believe it. I will not believe it. I cannot believe it.